Welcome back to another Bolt tutorial. Have you added server functions or other capabilities to your app incrementally, and now you're struggling to remember what everything does? In this video, we'll use the Miro connector so that you can visually map out server functions and the sitemap of your app so you have a visual comprehension of how it works. This is a fantastic process that you can use when it comes to project handoffs or if you want to re-architect your app. So let's dive in. First up, let's look at the project we'll be using for this demo. This is a Software Studio landing page, and notice they have a call to action. Clicking on this opens up a three-step input modal. Let's pretend that Bill from Google, who's a product manager, they expect 3 to 6 months to launch it. The budget is 25 to 75K, and they have a legacy system to replace. Finally, they can input their vision of what they want the software company to build, and now they'll send in that brief. This project also has an admin page built into it, so we can navigate there by typing /admin and enter, taking us to the admin portal. Now we can see that recent example that was just submitted. The project also has 3 AI server functions. Let's test out the first one. We've just clicked score lead, and so this will determine a score for the lead. It'll incorporate information such as their budget, timeline, etc. And here we have a 78 out of 100 score. The second server function, summarize, basically summarizes all of this information and creates a simple summary. And finally, there's a draft reply server function as well, which, as you can see, has now drafted a reply. Hi, Bill, thanks for reaching out. And that's the extent of this simple app so far. As I'm sure you can imagine, if this web app becomes more and more complicated, such as a fully featured user dashboard, we may now create dozens of these server functions. Over time, we may lose comprehension of all of the ones that we've created, what they do, and what triggers them. So let's map this out visually. Our first step is to ensure that our Miro connector is successfully connected. To learn more about this process, you can look at the video linked above. Now let's double check that we have the Miro connector enabled. And here's our prompt. Using the Miro connector, create a new Miro board and visually map out my sitemap and server functions so I can see what triggers them. Keep it relatively simple and high level. Let's enter plan mode and generate our plan. The agent's asking us, should the flow connectors include short labels? I said yes. Do you want the AI provider shown as its own node? I also said yes. And any diagram preference, and I said flowchart style. That all looks good, so let's go ahead and build. The agent's finished building and it's provided this URL link to a Miro board. So opening it up, just like that, the agent has comprehended our sitemap, including our server functions, and it's mapped it visually on this Miro board. Let's now go through it. A visitor can arrive on the public site. Notice that the nav, the hero, the contact, and the footer can all navigate to the lead modal. When this is clicked, it leads this information into the Supabase table here. If the user is an admin, they open the admin dashboard where they can see the lead panel. And from here, they can choose to click score, in which case it performs the score lead edge function. They could click summarize, which triggers the summarize lead edge function, or they can click draft reply, which initiates the draft reply function. And notice that all 3 of these send this prompt to the same AI model provider. Visualizing the process like this is a fantastic way to discover inefficiencies in your app. For example, instead of the admin having to click these buttons to trigger the server functions, what if they were triggered immediately after the lead is submitted? Let's now prompt the agent to make that adjustment. Here's our prompt. Instead of the admin having to click one of the 3 buttons in the AI toolkit on the admin page to initiate each server function, these server functions should be run automatically when a lead is submitted, and this information should be automatically populated into the database and build. The agents updated those server functions so that they're triggered on submission rather than from the admin page. And it's also saying the Miro board still shows the old manual click flow. Want me to update the diagram and reflect the new pipeline? Let's say yes and build. The agent's finished working. So jumping over to the Miro board, we can now see how it's been re-architected, showing that after the lead modal has been submitted, this auto triggers each of these 3 server functions. Note that we can use this same prompt or similar to much more complicated apps, and the agent will do a really impressive job mapping out the sitemap and then all of the associated server functions. To all of those visual learners out there, this is a fantastic way that you can visually represent and comprehend everything that's happening under the hood in your Bolt project. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and all the best mapping out your project in Miro.